Alrighty, time for another video. So the January 6th commission started today. They had their first hearing on Capitol Hill, and they interviewed four men who were on the front lines that day, who worked with the police and did security detail there. And they were very gut-wrenching testimonies, very heartfelt, very emotional. Yeah, and a lot of us have heard these people talk. They've been in the news media for the past 6 months, so you might have seen them on MSNBC or CNN. The Fanon guy especially gave a pretty compelling testimony. Just real talk, real emotions, barely any politics. I mean, there was some political framing, of course, but you know, what these people recounted on that day was very real, very traumatic, and anybody with an ounce of empathy felt it, that, you know, these people have been going through hell since that day. Some of them haven't returned to work. They have PTSD. They have other medical problems from that day. It's just, it's so horrible. Like, I genuinely feel bad for these men. And anyone who got injured there or died. It's just like, it was such a traumatic event. And we really got to see that today. We really got, you know, we honed in on it today at that hearing. And I thought it was very powerful. And I don't know how the Republicans are going to play it. I hate to just go right to the politics of it, but it's like, you know, these people, the thin blue, who represent the thin blue line, are typically the GOP's people. Like, that's, like, I think the figures are somewhere upwards of 80% of the police force in America are registered Republicans. I mean, those are your people, man. Like I don't know how you politically, like, gaslight that, because, you know, like the modern day GOP is just about gaslighting and, you know, just scorched earth politics on anything that crosses them. And I'm like, those are your people. Those are suffering people right there. And what's your next play on these people? Gonna say they were crisis actors? You gonna say they weren't there? You're gonna say they didn't go through this? I would love to see you try. And the fact that you will try is a great play for the Democrats, because that was the reason why they chose these people right up front. They knew it for multiple reasons it would be beneficial, but for the GOP to focus an attack on these people, these police officers and whatnot, to focus an attack there would do untold damage politically. Will there be criminal liabilities? I don't know if we'll ever see it. There will be political fallout from this, even if it's just on the margins, even if it just shaves off, you know, a section of GOP votes. Like I keep saying, elections are won on the margins in America that is split down the middle. So you shave off the margins, you start attacking the thin blue line people, the people who you court, the people who you're always on their side until it's politically expedient. Then you're just like, screw you. The Democrats want you to do that. The Democrats want you to attack, because that will expose your hand. That will expose your fraudulent nature, that you don't really care about these people and you care about political expedience. So it was a good play to get these people up front and center. And that's just like one of the biggest political reasonings I can come up with there. But I mean, anybody, even if you're not a political person, you could resonate with those people. You could resonate with, like their suffering, what they went through, what they encountered, the horrific pain and trauma they sustained. You don't have to be a political person to resonate with that. This was a very, human thing today. It just wasn't a political thing. It was a very human-centered thing with emotions and feelings, and sympathy and empathy. And once again, you don't have to be political to get that. You just got to be somewhat of a decent person and be like, wow, these guys really went through hell. And we're going to see like how this plays out. Like, what's the GOP going to do? They don't want to be a part of the hearings. They said they're going to have their own hearings and whatever. It's just they didn't get their way, so they took their football home, and it's just like a bunch of crybabies, whatever. I guess we're used to that. But Kinzinger, he started crying right away. I was just like, what? This dude's already... Adam Kinzinger, representative from Illinois, a Republican, like, he was just broken up when he started talking. And it's been really emotional for that guy, because I found out that his family pretty much abandoned him. Like, they're all staunch Republicans and Trumpists. And ever since he turned on Trump, like, his family has basically shunned him. So this guy has an amazing backstory. That's just, the dude is just, and I can understand, because I have a whole family of Republicans too. And, it's like, man, I can identify, man. But he gave a really compelling question and answer sequence, I guess you would call it. So I really wasn't expecting him to get so emotional, though. Like, he was really torn up, and he's like a Navy guy, so he's like seen combat and battle, or he's been in these situations of being terrified and whatnot. So I can see him empathizing with these Capitol Hill police and security people. Like, I guess that does make sense. But overall, it was, if we have to look at it politically again, it was a win for the Democrats' messaging and just political calculation, and it's a win across the board. Like it's going to change hearts and minds. It turn them against the GOP, turn them against Trump, and whatever the narrative is at the time. Like, people are going to see through it, because if they watch these testimonies, they're going to be like, wow, okay, I'm already, this is day one, and I'm already like, wow, that's what happened. This is day one. They're going to have many, many more, and they're going to be drilling down on a lot of things. But it was very smart to open with this testimony of these four brave young guys. Man. Anyways, what are your thoughts? Let me know. Do you guys watch any of the January 6th Commission hearing day one? Let me know down in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe. Click the bell.